So before I met my partner, there would always be weird signs and synchronicities. I used to dream about him in the dream state, and the people that I was connected to, when I would wake up, I'd be like, who the hell are you? Like, that doesn't feel like the person that was in my dreams. And it got so bad to the point where, like, I couldn't even ignore it anymore just because the people I was with at the time were polar opposites. Me and my partner almost lived like parallel lives. When I first lived in Texas, he moved from another state to Texas. When I moved out to a different state, he also moved out to a different state with his wife. And when I came back to Texas, he ended up moving back to Texas. So it was almost like there was this string that just kept us tethered without even knowing. He is someone that's in the entertainment industry, and me also being a dancer, we were indirectly in the same rooms. And so sometimes I'll go back to the footage and I'll be like, is that you? Like, I will spot him in the back of my videos without even knowing. So it's like he was there all along, but he just wasn't ready. And me being in toxic relationships, like, I went through a lot of situations. So did he, with just like toxic women. And when we did finally come together, it was almost like love at first sight. Ever since that time, like, we've never been separated, ever. Unless I'm going through it or unless I'm pushing him away, he will give me like an hour or two to just calm down, and then he'll come right back. And even when I became pregnant, like, I still was dealing with a lot of triggers from like people from the past because I was abandoned during pregnancy with my second child, and I feel like that just left a lot of trauma. So I would end up pushing him away. But he would just be so patient with me, so kind. Like, he would just take all of my bad shit sometimes, and it came to a point where I had to like realize that like I was messing up and I was hurting someone indirectly. So when we first met, it was during the summertime, so I didn't have my kids. My kids were with their grandma, so we had a lot of time to just kind of get to know each other before I'd be able to bring him around my children, because their safety is my number one priority. And they literally loved him instantly, like, instantly loved him. He was so patient, so kind, so sweet, and he's still the same way even now, years later. Like, he's somebody that's very emotionally expressive, wants to take care of the issue right then and there, like, never leaves me hanging, always invites me out to scenarios that he has, gigs, dance battles, even when he's out with his friends, and I have to be like, no, I'm okay. Like, I need my space. I need to be alone. But it just made me look at everyone else that I had been with, like, and just made me realize like how I was so mistreated. And triggers definitely still come up for him and for me as well, but with time, like, we learn how to communicate through it. But one thing I have not been able to overcome is every Sunday, almost every Sunday, I literally get psychically attacked. Like, it's to the point where I don't even like uploading tarot videos on Sundays because I don't want to affect the collective. I don't know if it's like the devil's way of like mocking God and chosen ones, but if we were to fight, every time we fight, it's on a Sunday. So I started to realize, and he started to pick up on the fact that like there was energetic interference because he is handsome, tall, full of hair, young, especially being somebody who's a dancer, a really good one. Women just naturally throw themselves at him. And that was a really big trigger for me. But then I realized that like he would never entertain those situations. He would actually like aggressively push them away, but some of them wouldn't even care. Like, they would just approach him even while I'm right there. Like, it was just the biggest issue. Even with me having a big following and just a lot of people that know me, a lot of exes would try to interfere, or people that would just try to come in just to like undermine him and my connection. And I had to, you have to push those people away and just see through the illusion, because they don't actually want you. They just want to undermine your partner. And he's super intuitive. Like, I don't know if it's because, to me, I believe that Polynesians are like an ancestor to people who were in Atlantis or like Lemuria, because I've never met somebody who is so in tune, like such a strong intuition, can immediately feel the undercurrents, can always know when something's wrong. Like, he's so intuitive, he can always tell when there's something wrong with me. Always. Like, even when I try to hide it, it's like I can't hide it. And yeah, this is like one of the strong suits that I realized that he had. So with the triggers that I would get, especially on Sundays, like sometimes I would take it out on him. Like, I wouldn't realize like, okay girl, like, you're getting energy sent your way, like, brace yourself. But now with time, it's become much easier to work through issues. And even when we would fight, like he would still be kind to me. He would give me my space, and sometimes he would even put me in my place. Like, you're in the wrong. You're not treating me how you should be. And this is the first time where like someone's actually held me accountable. Like I thought I was healed until I met someone that was actually healed. And I was like, okay, like I have so much work to do on myself. We never have issues like as far as like cheating, lying, deception. It's always like money, health, career, outside interferences. He leaves his phone unlocked all the time. Like I've never had somebody that's just so transparent, because in the past, like I dealt with people that were like constantly cheating and lying and being deceptive, and like the phone was always the issue. I don't have to worry about that. And so it was a breath of fresh air. Another thing, when I met him, those dreams that I used to have of him like completely stopped. And sometimes I would wake up, especially when I was having a really, really, really bad day. Like I would dream about him and I would wake up and I would just cry. I'd be like, oh my God, like who is this person? Like I want to feel that. And then once I finally met him, like the dream stopped. Now when I have dreams about him, it's about things that he's not telling me, like in the subconscious, or like issues or triggers that he's dealing with. And he will tell me when we're in the sleep state. And I feel like it's because your defenses are down, so you're way more open. And it's just like I said, I've been with him day in, day out since the day I met him. He's never left me hanging, never made me question myself. Honestly, people used to feed off of me in the past, and this is the first time I'm with somebody that actually makes me glow. And everyone tells me like, wow, like you're glowing, like ever since you've been with this person, like you just look different, you act different, you feel safe. Like other people can tell. And sometimes it does trigger a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy, and that's something that I felt like we were constantly going to have to deal with. That it's never going to go away. So I don't know. I don't like to put terms on relationships, and I don't know if it's a twin connection, a divine counterpart, but I just know that this is the person that is for me. When I first met him, there was no like anxiety. It was just like my nervous system could finally relax. And there is times where I deal with my own issues, and I sometimes project it onto him, and I've had to like look myself in the mirror. Like there's times when it's so bad that even my kids will like go and comfort him, and that's when I'll be like, okay D, like you need to get your stuff together, because look at your own kids, like they're going over there to comfort him and not you. So yes, when you meet your person, it's gonna be a roller coaster. It's not gonna be easy. But you guys will be able to work through it and communicate, and they will not make you wander. He never has wandering eyes. Like especially when I'm around like really beautiful women, like because in the past like it was a bad trigger for me, just because like I would feel it in the gut. And so even now sometimes like I will brace myself, and he'll notice and he'll be like, hey, like I'm only here for you, like my eyes are only for you, you don't have to worry about that with me. Like there's constant reassurance, and I always do that back for him as well, because there's certain things that I will do that would kind of like be similar to past things that other people would do, but it wasn't in the same context, it was different. And so even I have to reassure him like, hey, like I don't care about any of these other men, like I'm literally just here for you, like my eyes are only for you. And sometimes like I'll have people that are high profile contact me, and I feel like that's a bad trigger for him as well, because like he was left in situations for people that had more like income or resources and money, and no one really was with him for his heart. So that's also something that I noticed, that like if I'm in situations around men like that, like I have to have strong boundaries, and I'm also very clear, like I have a partner, if you do something that crosses my boundaries, I will cut you off, because I'm not willing to do anything to hurt him intentionally or jeopardize the connection. And when it comes to my kids, like they also love him. My first husband was, honestly, I feel like he was just with me for like the looks and the fetish and the accolades, because when we split up, like he kind of abandoned his kids as well. He also works a lot in the oil field, so he doesn't really show up to my kids like graduations and things like that. My partner is always there for every event. He is always there. He's always there. Like I've never met somebody so stable, so secure, so like anchored to the ground. And I feel like that's another thing. He was the only type of person that could handle being with somebody like me, because a lot of men would run. They would go through situations or issues, we would go together, and they would get scared and they would flee, or they just weren't strong enough, because I'm a lot to handle. Like, I'm pretty high maintenance for a good reason. And I feel like I had to be with somebody that reflects that energy. So I don't know why I'm uploading this. I feel like somebody needs to hear this, that when it's the one, you will know. There will be signs. There will be a heavy amount of safety. It may even feel like boring sometimes because you're used to like up and down situations. You're used to being in like fight or fight mode, your nervous system getting hijacked, just constantly dealing with like those up and downs. It's almost like an addiction. But when it's somebody that is for you, it will be calm. It will be peaceful. Yes, there will be tumultuous moments, but you will get through it together. He's also a strong communicator. When he's out doing something, he lets me know. When he's going out to do something, he lets me know. I never have to wonder, like, oh, what are you doing? Where are you at? Like, he just does it naturally because he wants to communicate with me. And he's just somebody that likes to be around me. And honestly, I was not used to that. And I feel like that's why I have a spatial issue, because I was connected to people that were either always leaving me hanging or running or some sort of abandonment. And I've been learning how to work through that. And it has not been easy. Like, there's been times where I'm just like, oh my God, I can't do this. But then I get into my right mind and I'm like, okay, I just need to calm down, take a minute, especially when I was pregnant. I don't know if it was the hormones or if it was our son, but my son's pretty crazy. Like, for a 1 year old, like, all the characteristics that he has now are the things that I had when I was pregnant. And I'm so grateful that he was so patient with me. Because in times when I didn't want him around, he would just be like, okay, I'm just going to go to the other room and just leave you alone and let you be. And he was just so patient. So do not settle. The person that you were supposed to be with, they're going to understand you. I didn't even have to explain much to him. Like, he was so intuitive that he picked up on everything. Every slight, every like uncomfortable feeling I would get, it's like he understands, and he will comfort me, and he'll try like to try to make me feel more secure. But then I started to understand, like, his triggers are not my issue. I mean, are not his issues. Like, I need to deal with my own problems so that he doesn't have to overcompensate. But that's the thing, when you're with somebody, they help you when you're down. I've been super hyper independent most of my life just because I could not count on anyone. And there's times when I'm really down, he'll be like, hey, like, let me help you. Like, you're sick, you're not feeling good. Let me do all the chores. Let me go get you something to eat. Like, it's somebody that wants to make my life easier. Like, he adds to my life. He doesn't take away from it. And if he does take away from it, temporarily, he acknowledges it and tries to compensate for that, or at least, put in his fair share. So you'll know if it's somebody that's for you. They will not make you wander. They won't make you question yourself. They will add to your life.